Hey guys, Renegade1812 here, and I'm finally back with another bootleg handheld review. Today what I'll be reviewing is the Game Box Plus that I have bought from one of those phone shops at Münsterstraße in Dortmund, apparently in December last year. Well, I actually had this for quite a while. I paid €20 for it, and yeah, let's take a look at the box. So yeah, I actually did find this. I also found the sub variant of this one, which I saw at that one other shop, actually. Well, including a brick game. Well, I may review a brick game, but maybe I'll review one of those brick game devices, perhaps, maybe one day. But yeah, as you can see, this box is in really bad shape. I mean, that's how it is when I bought it, essentially. Box is in really crap shape. But yeah. So yeah, video game console, it's a handheld. Manufactured February 23rd, 2025. Manufactured in, okay, Shenzhen Nanan Trading. Of course, manufactured in Shenzhen, just like that R36S clone that I reviewed earlier, which of course turned out to be an Android powered instead of a Linux powered that the original and even so many of the clones are supposed to run, but mine is none. Mine is an Android powered, and which I of course indeed hacked. If you already saw my video, and well, but this is just okay, XDH Tech, based in Lyon, France. Made in China. Because, well, of course it has to be. Because, well, so many of these things are made in China. Everything that we use and that... Well, everything that we use, every single electronic device, toy, whatever, all made in, well, the world's biggest factory state, China. You see adapter. Oh, and of course the layout. Yeah, this looks a lot like a Game Boy, except it's small. It's really small. Oh, it's got a TV out. Yeah, of course I'll show you what it looks like when hooked up to a CRT later on. Adapter, arrow keys. Yeah. So let's take a look at the contents inside. So, we've got the contents. So, first, of course, we have AV cables to hook this up to a CRT. There's only yellow and red, but then again, I do use the where do I have it? Of course, I'm going to hook this to a CRT with this, which is also something I used to hook that MPX7 player with. And yeah, later on we will of course take a look. But yeah, I bought this for my Raspberry Pi. If you remember, I think this is CTI-8. Oh, I can't remember. But if you watch my videos, you probably know what this is. Oh yeah, and to play it with the Raspberry Pi, you do need one of those adapters that I, yeah, of course, bought and included with my package. So, what else? Charging cable. This is, oh, this happens to be, can we get a focus on? Come on, where's the focus? Okay, this of course is Yeah, mini USB. Yeah, obviously used for a Raspberry Pi, and of course I'm gonna, well, yeah, I probably will have to look for somewhere. But yeah, obviously cheaply made, just like the AV cables that also come with it. Yeah. Alright. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But okay. Instruction leaflet. Oh, it's actually called the Retro FC PlayVision Portable. Yeah, of course you saw that already. Speaker. Oh, and there's also a removable battery. And installation. Card and maintenance. Or care and maintenance. Yeah, very cheap paper, but what do you know? Troubleshooting. Okay, this is actually the front of it. Yeah, here's this menu. B&A and the turbo buttons, of course. Well, if you can't already guess by now, this happens to be a Famicom in handheld format. And now, the most important part, the handheld itself. Yeah, it's very small. Yeah, kind of awkward to hold. Buttons feel very mushy, cheap, and yeah, not very good at all. I got a reset button because, well, there's actually a multi-card in there, which of course is actually soldered into the PCB of this thing itself. Select, start. Yeah, it's so cheap and so mushy. Yeah, so soft too. I mean, you expect these, well, but then again, that's how it is with these cheap devices. So this is what's used to hook it up to power, and this is what's used to turn this on and on. Well, the on-off switch, and this is where you can plug in the headphones, and of course the AV cable. Of course, like I said, we'll turn this later. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on the sides. Nope, it's not like the game. Oh, this is volume control. And yeah, the battery. Oh, hope it's like this. And this is the battery. Okay. Okay, now before we actually start this thing, I will have to hook it up with a power. So I'll be right back. So yeah, I've actually just hooked up an Xbox One cable, which is a mini USB. Yeah, and it's gonna be fed power like this. And now I suppose we're gonna turn it on. So yeah, Chinese English select. Okay. Yeah, as you can already see by now, it is a Famicom. A handheld Famicom. And of course we're going to look at all the games included. But most of them can be duplicates. Super Mario, well, of course, Contra, Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Or, well, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Snow Brothers. Oh, Robocop. F1 race. We'll take a look at F1 race in a moment. Macross, of course, expected, as expected. Macross. We'll be playing that first. But first, let's take a look at all the games that are on it. Yeah, sounds coming out from this speaker. Gyromite. Or wait, Gyrodyne. Thought it said Gyromite, but of course, it needs, of course, a special NES peripheral to play, which, of course, this Famicom doesn't support. And it looks like that's probably the end, because it seems like there are 313, because here it actually starts back with Super Mario Brothers, obviously the original Super Mario Brothers. Of course, the platformer that of course made the NES and the original Famicom the system seller and the ultimate killer app. So we all know it. Macross, yeah. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of the list. Okay, now, of course, we'll start off with the usual Macross. Yeah, it's running an NTSC. Well, yeah, running NTSC speed instead of the pulse speed that I remember playing this game under. Okay, this is B, this is A. Okay, and these two are turbo buttons. Yeah, D-pad feels very stiff. That's how it is with cheap devices like this. So yeah, this is Turbo B, this is Turbo A. So yeah, kind of weird how they lay the buttons like that, when B and A are usually these buttons here, but they're different. Yeah, the D-pad feels so stiff. Well, how does it run? Well, it runs not too bad. But the D-pad is what really causes problems. Because you always need to have a very good D-pad, and this D-pad here doesn't really cut it. Okay, we're going inside the fortress. And we did it. We passed the stage. Okay, and of course to go back to reset, just push this button here. And yeah, volume control works. Now let's check out F1 Race. Yeah, there. Oh yeah, another one of those games I remember playing on that Famicom that one of my neighbors owned in my old apartment home where I grew up in. And yeah, of course, no copyright information because, well, then again, to avoid getting sued, but it doesn't really work. Oh, it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't really work. Yeah, it's very similar to Namco's Pole Position, if you remember playing that. Either on an original arcade cabinet, or of course, if you've played one of those Namco Museum compilations where you first played it. Oh yeah, to select the skill level you have to press select. Well, we'll just go with skill level 1. So this is accelerate, this is brake. And up and down is used to change between low gear and high gear. Well, just like pole position. Just like Namco's classic pole position. And starting off in an oval. And of course, emulation seems to be also decent for this one. Sometimes, yeah, the road can look absolutely messed up, which means that emulation of this game on this device wouldn't be all that great. But as it is, it's running good. Yeah, then again, the D-pad feels so cheap and so stiff. Well, it would be actually better if the D-pad was a lot better, but what do you know? And once again, running in NTSC instead of in PAL. Like I would have, but that's not the point. So yeah, copyright information completely removed, which of course, yeah, is always what's to be expected from a bootleg handheld such as this one, that is essentially a Famicom, but without a cartridge slot, where you can basically put whatever game you want and play whatever you want, other than the games included on it. Other than the games that are built into this thing. Yeah, the buttons really don't feel the best. I'm doing pretty well, I'm doing pretty well. So yeah, emulation, NES emulation is actually pretty decent for what it is. Oh yeah, I also wonder if Sky Destroyer, I think it is, which we'll be playing that next, when it's game over. That probably won't be my final game that I'll test. No Super Mario Brothers, because, well, thing is, well-known Nintendo games won't be played. Not even Zelda. And not even this bootleg Pokemon game, Pokemon Yellow, this port of Pokemon Yellow on the NES, from Game Boy to NES. Well, and also having been given a fan translation to English by one of those Pokemon fans. Playing Pokemon on the NES, that would have been pretty amazing, but okay. As much as how amazing it would have been to play Pokemon on the PlayStation, if this were a PlayStation franchise instead of being a Nintendo franchise, but yeah. Oh man, these buttons so cheap, and the D-pad so stiff. And I still made it. Yeah, Sky Destroyer was one game I don't remember playing because it wasn't on it. And yeah, from what I've actually found out, it was actually an arcade game. It was originally in the arcades. It's actually, that's actually unbelievable. Ah, yes, I always enjoy playing it. Like I said, this is one of the two games that I always remember fondly playing on that Famicom that I told you about. This SNES, European SNES, Super Famicom looking Famicom called the Supercom. Yeah, the Supercom, that's what it's called. Even coming with these controllers that are indeed akin to those on the European SNES and the Super Famicom. I always remember this console. Thing is, the thing is, I certainly wish I had a Famicom for myself, but never got one, unfortunately. So, yeah, never got a Famicom for myself. Which, of course, I basically ended up getting the PlayStation instead. Which, of course, well, it still was great. Yeah, a Famicom is certainly what I would have had also. Just like my neighbors. Just like how my neighbors once had one. I was always amazed that my neighbors had that Famicom that they let me play with for around a day or something before it kind of broke and I never got to play with it again. But neither did I get to play some of the games included on the multi-card that came with their Famicom. Or two, rather. Yeah, I even remember playing Duck Hunt on that Famicom for the first time. It was also pretty amazing, because yeah, that Famicom also came with a light gun, as most Famicoms made in China do come with light guns. As well, every Famicom always needs to be bundled with a light gun, and game over. So, let's check out, let me think. Or maybe I'll just scroll through the, Sky Destroyer, yeah, Sky Destroyer. Let's see if Sky Destroyer is included. Ice Climber. Oh, there's even Galaga. Oh yes, even Dig Dug is on there. Of course, some of Namco's iconic arcade games are included. Yes, even the highly iconic Pac-Man is on it. Oh yeah, those are actually games ported from the arcade to the Famicom. Mostly being Japan exclusive. Which is kind of odd considering how insanely popular these games were in North America when they were in the arcades. Yeah, no pole position, but of course you have Pac-Man, Dig Duck, and Galaga Galaxian. Yeah, you got some of Namco's iconic arcade games included on this thing. Sky Destroyer, yeah, made by Taito. And yes, from what I found out, this was originally an arcade game. Kind of sounds like Indiana Jones. There's also a two-player mode, but thing is, you can't hook up a second controller onto this one, though. So it's just me, but let's see what it's like. Okay, B drops bombs, A shoots. Yeah, this one was not on that multi-card. Therefore, never got to play this back in the day. So I just need to zoom in a little bit so I can see what's happening. Oh, I can see a ship. Oh, shit, got shot down. Okay, there are the Corsairs. Oh yes, if you can't really tell by now, this is a World War II game where, of course, you are with the Imperial Japanese Army going up against the U.S. Army during World War II. Okay, so they're the enemy fighters. Where are the ships? Kind of impressive that, kind of impressive for a game to be like this. But then again, this only got a Japanese release unless you play it on one of those multi-cards that are available all around the world. And I just got shut down again. Oh, you know what? That's enough. Let's go play another game. Maybe I will play Galaxian. And no mentioning of Namco because, well, once again, even for this, they had to take all the copyright information out. Let's have a round of Galaxian, shall we? Yeah, even has a 2-player mode, but then again, I'm just... Ah, yes. That game that you, of course, knew from the original Ridge Racer when you booted up on your PlayStation, and you actually got to play a little bit of this one. I'm trying to destroy all of these enemies in order to unlock the other cars, the other standard cars in the game before loading is completed. Except we're not playing Ridge Racer, we're playing NES, Famicom, or Famicom to be more specific. I can also hold down the turbo button. I can of course hold down turbo A. Probably not doing too well on this because the screen is so small. I think I might as well close it off with another arcade game from Namco, Pac-Man. No, Miss Pac-Man though. Yeah. Didn't do all too well, but that's not the point. So, Pac-Man is what we're gonna look at for the last time. Pac-Man. Oh wait, that's not Max. Gyrodyne. Looks like Pac-Man isn't included. I must have read it wrong. Or maybe it is included. It seems like there's no... Yeah, there's Pac-Land, but no Pac-Man. Yeah, okay, so let's play ice hockey, shall we? Pro wrestling that's on this one, well, that's not the pro wrestling that Nintendo made. Okay, so where was Gradius you got here, but no Blades of Steel. Yes, I actually checked. No Blades of Steel, unfortunately, on this one. Alright, Twin B you got here. Xavius. Hackland. Yeah, pro wrestling, but it's not the pro wrestling. I can even show you. Yeah. Oh, no. Ah, damn it. Where the hell? Pro wrestling, there. Yeah, this is Tag Team Pro Wrestling. It's not the pro wrestling that Nintendo made. But okay, ice hockey, shall we? Just so I can actually be done with it. Mortal Kombat 4. Yeah, of course, Blake. Oh wait, wrong game. Burger Time, Circus Charlie. Okay, gotta look for. Even the Donkey Kongs are on this one. Hyper Olympic. Yeah, track and field. Let's see. Oh wait, Pac-Man is on there, huh? I think I must have been blind. But yeah, Pac-Man, let's check it out. And yeah, 1 player, 2 player mode, but yeah, let's just... Yeah, the arcade game that of course brought Namco to absolute fame. As well as Midway, releasing this all across the world. Well, the West. Yeah, I even saw some Pac-Man related swag at Miniso, like the one that had just opened in Dortmund recently. Oh, I'm getting cornered, oh no! Deaf animation, deaf sound doesn't sound the same as in the original arcade game. And playing it with a D-pad feels okay. Damn it, man, the D-pad is so stiff. Man, hit this D-pad. Yeah, playing this game with a D-pad like this is just awkward. And I just cleared the stage. Okay. I think now ice hockey will be up next. Let's take a look to see where it is. Ice climber. Yeah, Pac-Man. Yeah, it is included. I was just a little blind. Of course, this is the... no. Yeah. So now I'm gonna take a look. Now I'm gonna show you how it looks when hooked up to a CRT. So apparently, as it turns out, the cable that I just is actually, well, the plug for the is apparently way too large. It doesn't really fit. I can actually show you. Yeah, as you can see, it's way too large to fit in the pin. So I probably will have to use the AV cable that's provided with the with the handheld. So yeah, as you can see, I've already plugged everything in, and we'll take a look what it is. Okay, when you plug it in like this, well, yeah. And apparently the sound's actually coming from the speaker rather than from the TV itself. And yeah, as you can see, it's in NTSC, which is kind of odd, but yeah, it's NTSC. It's an NTSC device. We'll play F1 Race one more time. So yeah, the sound's actually coming from the handheld itself. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to be doing too well on this standing here and playing with the handheld like this. Still, it's kind of cool that you can hook this up to a CRT, that like the one that you see here. But yeah, but if you're in the PAL region, if your TV is a PAL only, it doesn't support NTSC, well, chances are you're gonna have to play all these games on this thing in monochrome, just like how you would with NTSC games in general. Well, at least the display though is still in color, but the image on my CRT is in monochrome, and that's because it is an NTSC, not PAL, like how I would have hoped. It's also the reason why Macross, of course, ran under that speed and once again did a mistake. It'll be rather awkward to hold this, but I give it a try. Handheld also feels a bit awkward to hold in the hands. Well, unless you have a kid and it will fit nicely into his or her hands. And again, still made for kids, this handheld. Okay, I'm gonna just let the timer run out and end the review like this. So, I think I might as well go out and give my final verdict on this. So, in conclusion, this handheld though, well, it's pretty below average, to be very frank. While it does have a nice selection of games, and you know, Famicom NES emulation is also pretty decent on this one. The main issue I have with this device though are the buttons and the D-pad. So stiff, so cheap, and so mushy, and so on. It's also quite a bit too small to hold it into hand still. You know, like I have bigger hands like this. Well, for a kid maybe, well, it may be good, but well, sure, I probably would recommend this, you know, I would recommend it, giving it to a kid, perhaps, if you have one. He or she may enjoy with it, but other than that, though, nah, just pass up on this. Just pass up on this one. And also for the fact that you can't even take the ROMs out of this device and basically have it like this. Well, if you really want to, you're probably going to have to find, you know, you're going to have to, you know, to do research on how to rip ROMs from this thing. How I'm able to do this, I can't tell you, because I don't know how I rip ROMs from a device like this. So perhaps maybe if you, well, I probably say probably better go for you better go for this, or you better go for this. But even then, even these devices have their fair share of problems. You know, fair share of problems. And yeah, this was not bought from a Chinese seller like the two that I just showed you. No, I just bought it from a shop at Münsterstraße in Dortmund, from a phone shop at Münsterstraße. Okay, well, this is Renegade 1812. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time.